Reality can be a beautiful soft girl who lets you experience all the good things, or a fat shrew who weighs you down, depending on how much savings you have. The scorching sun in August makes people restless. Yushin County. A place with a salary of $3,000 to $4,000 and an average house price of $12,000. In the small fruit and vegetable store, Qin Lin handed the vegetables in his hand to a middle-aged woman with a smile on his face. "Auntie, your dishes, welcome next time." After seeing off the guests, seeing a few annoying flies, I had to pick up a fly swatter to drive them away. After the chaos, several corpses were cut off. Qin Lin sat on the recycling silver table, picked up his mobile phone and opened a new nostalgic game, Ranch Story. This is a farming game with a high degree of openness and does not require too much technology. It can kill time for those who visit the store. 1 year after graduating, I still have nothing to do, but the tourism management major is selling fruits and vegetables, but the reality always makes people have no choice. His family has been poor for 3 generations. A few years ago, his grandfather fell ill. Before his death, his father relied on this fruit and vegetable store to get up early and late to maintain his grandfather's medical expenses and family expenses. But God was joking with their family. After my grandfather passed away, my father was also diagnosed with cancer a year ago due to long-term fatigue. My mother could hardly sustain it by relying on this small fruit and vegetable store. Even if she sold the house and borrowed hundreds of thousands of dollars from Noodles, she still could not save Dad. My mother also suffered from physical problems because of her hard work, and the inspection data were not very good, so she needed someone to take care of her. Therefore, even if he had the opportunity to stay in a big company after graduation, he had to come back to take care of his mother and inherit this small fruit and vegetable store, including the family's foreign debts. If the starting point of most people is 0, he is negative hundreds of thousands. Life is not fair. It's not that he never thought about looking for opportunities while looking at stores, but for a graduate, not only lack of social experience, but also lack of funds. Relying on the store's income, maintenance expenses, and mother's nutrition expenses, plus a little external debt every month is enough, and the balance of the card is less than $4,500. Now he doesn't even have the right to go to the hospital with a cold. After all, he can't do something like 100,000 or 1 million monthly income from a 30 square meter fruit shop on a certain music platform. That's a magical place with a per capita income of 100 million. Before his mother's health improved and no one needed to take care of him, he could only be trapped in this small shop to maintain a survival. With a sigh, he controlled the game character to walk out of the door, and in front of him was a 6-square field where watermelons were planted. He had only opened these 6 fields not long after he started the game. Weeding, watering. After waiting for a while, the watermelons on the 6-square floor also indicated that they were ripe one after another. The time flow in the game is always different. In reality, a watermelon that only matures in a few months can mature in more than 10 hours in the game. The number of watermelons that each piece of land can produce is basically 1,520. Qin Lin was about to control the game characters to pick watermelons, when the phone suddenly sent electricity, which instantly paralyzed him. Leakage? Qin Lin subconsciously wanted to scold his mother. He's not a Samsung phone, how can he still have such great power if he leaks electricity? Ding! The special game channel is activated, and the game Ranch Story is locked. Please wait. Qin Lin patted his head. Can you experience hallucinations with this electric shock? Ding! The special game channel is successfully linked, and the game Ranch Story has been linked. Is the host entering the game for the first time? At the same time, a very psychedelic image appeared in Qin Lin's mind. It was a pasture with ripe watermelons lying on 6 squares. This is the game screen of Ranch Story. The game character is still standing in front of the watermelon field, and he just controlled the character to pick watermelons. What's even more incredible is that when he thought about it, the game character stepped forward and plucked a watermelon. Is it possible to play games with thoughts in your mind? Next, Lin found a special prompt at the top of the screen, enter or not. Yes. Lin thought of the previous tips and felt incredible, so he tried to make a choice. A strange suction appeared, and almost instantly, the picture in front of him changed. In front of me is a green watermelon field. There was also a special fragrance of watermelon in the air, and he was holding a watermelon in his hand, which seemed to replace the game character. Isn't this an illusion? Lin was incredulous. The touch of the watermelon in his hand was extremely real, and there was a message floating around, seedless watermelon, quality 1. Remarks, although it is not a special type of watermelon, the game produced, the deliciousness is also the best among ordinary watermelons. Delicious +1, sweet +1, taste +1. The fruits of this ranch story are of different quality. The higher the quality, the more delicious it is, and the higher the selling price. However, this remark is different from the game, there is even an attribute bonus. Lin put down the watermelon in his hand and picked a few more. The same message appeared, each with the same remark message, with the attributes of delicious +1 and sweet +1. He looked around again, buildings with windmills, storage rooms, fences. Everything is the same as the game screen. The only difference is that the field in front of you is a really wide field, full of watermelons, not a small modular grid in the game, and even the fruits that are planted are represented by numbers. Moreover, looking at the time beat on the phone, after he came in, the game time flow became normal. Then, Lin remembered something, and hurriedly looked at the picture in his mind again. He's afraid that he won't be able to go back, so why isn't his mother dying in a hurry? But the picture in my mind changed, it turned into the scene in the fruit and vegetable store, and the prompt above also changed, whether to quit. This is obviously free entry and exit. Lin silently quit, that special feeling of sucking and pulling reappeared, and he also returned to the fruit and vegetable store, holding a watermelon in his hand. In order to be more sure of the authenticity, he took a knife and cut the watermelon in half directly on the chopping board. The red melon flesh was exposed, but there was not a single melon seed. This is a real melon. Lin took another half and cut it into several pieces. Picking up one piece, he wanted to taste it, but he was afraid that something would go wrong with it. After all, this watermelon was incredible. When I walked to the door of the store, I saw a dirty black dog dangling in front of a trash can. This is the market street. It is easy to find food. There are often stray dogs. The relevant departments have caught one, and a new one will come after a while. This can only be blamed for too many people who have no conditions to raise dogs on a whim. Lin threw a piece of watermelon directly, and the black dog rushed up to press the watermelon with his claws, then subconsciously looked left and right, and when he saw nothing was wrong, he suddenly lowered his head and ate it in. After waiting for some time, Lin picked up a piece and tasted it himself after he found that the black dog was not unusual. Taking a bite, Lin's eyes lit up. He understood the meaning of the watermelon remarks more precisely. Extremely sweet, juicy, high sugar, and very refreshing. This watermelon is definitely much better than the one he buys every day. Is this caused by the attributes of deliciousness +1, sweetness +1, and taste +1? He is in this line of business and naturally understands that it would be good to have a few watermelons of this quality out of 100, and this is the case for everyone in the game. After eating one piece of watermelon, Lin was still enjoying it, so he picked up the second piece and ate it. In fact, the profit of selling watermelons is not high. Don't look at the fact that the price of a pound has risen to 2 yuan, but the cost of fruit farmers, labor, shipping costs, and wholesalers' markup can be excluded. When it comes to a small fruit and vegetable store like him, it is already 1.5 yuan per pound, which is basically nothing. How much profit? But what if this watermelon has no cost? How much is sold for pure profit? Lin's eyes brightened when he thought of the watermelons on the farm. A watermelon is counted as 10 catties, a catty of 2 yuan is 20 yuan, and 10 watermelons are a net profit of 200 yuan. As long as he sells 20 melons a day, that's 12,000 a month, which is more than he earns by selling fruits and vegetables for a month. There should be hundreds of watermelons in the game, but the land in the key game can be repeatedly planted with watermelons, and the watermelons can mature in more than 10 hours. Wow! Just as Qin Lin was thinking, a dog bark sounded in his ear. It was the black dog squatting at the door of the store, staring at the melon in his hand. Apparently this dog is out of touch. However, in a good mood, he took another piece of watermelon and threw it to the black dog, then pulled down the shutters of the shop. This way, you can't see what's going on in the store from the outside. He took the basket for purchasing goods from the store again, and with a thought, he entered the ranch again. What caught my eye was still the watermelons all over the floor. Qin Lin was so polite, he picked up the watermelons and put them in the basket. After filling the basket with 15 watermelons in a row, he grabbed the basket and returned to the store. Looking at the baskets full of watermelons, Qin Lin was full of excitement. To get rich. Looking at the light curtain in my mind again, the number of watermelons on the ground in the game screen has reached 0, and the watermelon vines have also withered. The system prompts that it can be eradicated and replanted. In the game, the crops can only be picked once. It is not the same as the reality. After picking, it can grow again. However, when Qin Lin looked at the prompt, he also thought of one thing. He immediately controlled the game character through the game screen in his mind, and picked several other grids. In an instant, the picking was completed in a few squares. Qin Lin entered the game again, and there were no more watermelons on those fields, only the solitary watermelon vines. He walked towards the storage room next to the house, opened the door and saw hundreds of watermelons stored in it. Isn't it better to just bring in the basket and pack it? He was still busy just now. In front of the watermelon pile, there is an information sign. Seedless watermelon, 85, quality 1. In other words, there are 85 watermelons in this pile, and the volume is definitely over 10 kilograms, so this pile is worth at least 1,700 yuan. With the thought, Qin Lin returned to the store, took the basket again, entered the game, and filled the basket with watermelons. He also found that as long as he touched the basket with his hand and quit the game with a thought, the basket of watermelons followed into the store outside. He just took some time to remove all the watermelons and filled the corner of the store. Including the baskets that were brought out at the beginning, there were a total of 105 watermelons. After finishing, he looked at his mind again, and it turned into a game screen again. Only watermelon vines were left in several fields, suggesting that it could be eradicated and replanted. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. He immediately removed those watermelon vines and planted new watermelon seeds. After more than 10 hours like this, another bunch of watermelons came out. And now it's time to sell all these watermelons. Qin Lin opened the shutters of the shop again. The black dog was lying beside the door, looked up at him, and changed to a comfortable position to lick its paws. Is the dog still going? But he didn't care about it now. He put the baskets of watermelons he brought out just now on the fruit stand, and looked at the price tag of 2 yuan per pound. This is his normal selling price, but at this price, his shop only sells a few watermelons every day. Looking at the watermelons he took out of the game, he changed it to a wholesale price of 1 yuan and 5 kilograms. Anyway, watermelons that are worthless are better sold if they are lowered. However, the situation was not as he thought. As the afternoon passed, he sold a few watermelons in total. It wasn't because the watermelons were bad, but because the people who patronized his store had demand for watermelons. Thinking about it, Qin Lin slapped his head and felt that he had found the wrong target. Since the wholesale price is 1.5 yuan per pound, there is no need to sell them one by one in the store. He immediately took out his mobile phone and logged into a WeChat group. This is the owner group of the fruit and vegetable store in Yushan. At first, I didn't know who pulled it. They said that it was a simple group. In order to understand the market, they would not let wholesalers. However, in general, apart from a few water lovers, there is little communication with each other. When I opened the group chat, Qin Lin sent a message: the son of the uncle's nephew of the second grandfather in my hometown has planted a batch of seedless watermelons. The melons are sweet and juicy. Modern wholesale prices are 1.5 yuan/catties, and they are delivered directly to the door. Interested, come to taste. There are generally two channels for purchasing watermelons in Yushan County. One is to go to the fruit wholesale market. There is a logistics park at the other end of Yushan. There is some distance. The other is to go to the surrounding village fruit farmers to buy goods. Therefore, the wholesale price is also 1.5 yuan, the melon is more delicious, and if it is delivered to your door, you are not afraid that no one will want it. As soon as Qin Lin's news came out, 3 people appeared in the group. It turned out to be Xiao Qin. Is Xiao Qin switching to wholesale? Then I'll join in the fun too. The 3 people who sent the message, Qin Lin, also knew each other, and they all happened to open stores near Market Street. Seeing that no one appeared in the group for the time being, Qin Lin made an appointment with the 3 to meet in the store. At this time, Qin Lin also found that the game screen in his mind showed a prompt that it was time to water the seeds for the first time. He immediately thought to control the game character to enter the tool room, take out the watering can, fill it with water by the river, and then water the seeds. After a while, the 3 people who had made an appointment in the WeChat group came riding on a small electric stove. 2 middle-aged men, Lu Dashan and Chen Daihe, and a woman named Ai Kuni. As soon as Lu Dashan entered the door, he said, "Xiao Qin, where is your melon? Look." Qin Lin pointed to a pile of watermelons on the ground and said, "Brother Lu, Brother Chen, Sister Ai, look at these melons." When the 3 heard the words, they all went up to look. They have been in this business for a long time, so naturally they can roughly tell whether the melon is good or not. The texture is clear, the depth is clear. Guadi is still green and fresh. Can hear. These melons are obviously good melons. It looks really good. Lu Dashan said with a smile. Chen Daihe and Ai Kuni also nodded. However, there are too many wholesalers and fruit farmers who have no conscience now, so we still have to open the melons and try them. Qin Lin naturally understood and said to the 3, just pick one. Xiao Qin, then this one. Lu Dashan pointed at a watermelon at random. Qin Lin nodded, picked up the watermelon and cut it in half, revealing the delicious flesh, which made people appetizing at a glance. Qin Lin cut the 2 halves of the watermelon into small pieces, and then said to the 3 of them, "Brother Lu, Brother Chen, Sister Ai, have a taste." The 3 of Lu Dashan were not polite, and each picked up a piece of watermelon and ate it. Wow! It was the bark of the black dog again. It seemed to see Qin Lin dividing the carcasses, and it crept to the door of the store again. This is so dependent. Seeing this, Qin Lin took another piece of watermelon and threw it to it. If a dog eats too much watermelon, he will have diarrhea. Let him experience the sinister nature of the human heart. Then he will know that he can't eat this thing, so he won't rely on it. With the attributes of deliciousness +1, sweetness +1, and taste +1, Lu Dashan only took 2 bites, and his eyes lit up. Good melon, the taste is much better than what I've had before. Indeed, it's sweet and juicy. Little Qin, are you really delivering to your door? The 3 of them all looked at Hu Qing. This melon looks good and tastes better. The same wholesale price is delivered to the door. There's no reason not to buy it. Qin Lin explained, that's natural, it will definitely be delivered to your door. The 3 nodded, and immediately decided to try 30 melons each, and leave the rest to Qin Lin's own shop. The shop of the 3 was not far away, and Qin Lin also took the deposit, and agreed to pay for the watermelon to be delivered to the door. The reason why he wants to deliver to his door is naturally for confidentiality. Although he does not have surveillance cameras in his store, surveillance cameras are everywhere in this market street. Inexplicably, he kept getting watermelons out of the store. This time, it was fine. If there were more, he would definitely pay attention. After all, every day you don't come in, you go out with watermelons. Being followed may lead to big trouble. Therefore, in the future, we must find a secret place outside. After Lu Dashan and the others left, Qin Lin glanced at the black dog who was still eating watermelon outside the door. He ignored it and pulled the rolling shutter door from the outside. It was covered with rust and sold for 2,000 yuan, and no one wanted an agricultural three-wheeled truck. However, this car is used to pull goods. As long as the tire doesn't blow out, it's fine to pull a ton or so. Qin Lin drove the tricycle to the front of the store, loaded all the watermelons from the store into the car, closed the shutters of the store again, and then got in the car to deliver the melons to Lu Dashan and the three. Lu Dashan's shop is the closest to his shop. They are all on Market Street, just a short distance away. The shop is called Dashan Fruit Shop. Lu Dashan was chatting with a man holding a watermelon at the door, and when Qin Lin's tricycle stopped, he pulled the man forward and said, "Xiao Chen, come and see the melon that was just delivered, it's definitely fresh. Melon, pick one, and I'll cut it for you and taste it." "Okay, brother Lu." Xiao Chen nodded, walked to the car and picked it up. Lu Dashan also explained to Qin Lin, "Mr. Qin, this little Chen is my upstairs neighbor and a regular customer. He likes to eat watermelons." "Okay." Qin Lin nodded. That Xiao Chen also quickly picked a melon from Qin Lin's car and gave it to Lu Dashan. "Xiao Qin, this melon weighs 11 pounds. Lu Dashan finished weighing it, took it aside, cut it open, and handed it to Xiao Chen Zioban. Xiao Chen and Lu Dashan are old acquaintances, so they naturally took over and tasted it. Soon, Xiao Chen was pleasantly surprised, "Brother Lu, this melon is very sweet and sandy. It's much better than the ones you sold before. What's the price?" Lu Dashan smiled and said, "The same price, 2 yuan per pound, how many do you want?" "Brother Lu, let me pick 4 melons, and you can take them to me." Xiao Chen said, and then chose 4 melons from Qin Lin's car to give to Lu Dashan. The last 4 melons are all over 10 jins, one type is 47 jins. Lu Dashan said, 47 pounds, 94 yuan, "Xiao Chen, you make a mark, and I will send it to you when you are free. I don't need the sign anymore. I trust brother Lu, and I will transfer the money to WeChat." Xiao Chen shook his hand and took the mobile phone to transfer money to Lu Dashan. After Xiao Chen left, Lu Dashan greeted Qin Lin again, "Xiao Qin, it seems that this melon planted by your relatives is really good." Xiao Chen is usually very picky about watermelons. Qin Lin was naturally happy too. He took a basket from Lu Dashan's store and started moving melons. Lu Dashan sold 4 melons, which is equivalent to helping him earn more than 70 yuan. In addition to the previous 5, Qin Lin put 25 in the basket for Lu Dashan to weigh. The total amount was 287 jins, and the 47 jins bought by Xiao Chen was 334 jins, and the wholesale price of 1.5 yuan was 501 yuan. Lu Dashan also readily transferred WeChat to Qin Lin. Qin Lin also issued an invoice to Lu Dashan, which is related to the tax declaration of self-employed households. "Brother Lu, find me again if you need to, and I'll go deliver melons to the other 2. Qin Lin smiled. This sum alone was more than the profit that his fruit and vegetable store made from a hard day's work. Next, Qin Lin gave Chen Dehi and Ai Kuni 30 melons respectively. Chen Dehi has a total of 360 kilograms, and the wholesale price is 540 yuan, while Ai Kuani's is 328 kilograms, and the wholesale price is 492 yuan. In this way, adding Lu Dashan's 501 yuan and 90 melons made him a total of 1,533 yuan. When he returned to his shop, Qin Lin actually found that the black dog was still in front of his shop, lying comfortably on his stomach, without the rhythm of having diarrhea. It shouldn't be. When the sun went down completely, the remaining watermelons in Huqing's store were sold for more, plus the few sold before. 172 yuan was also recorded in the store. In this way, the melons taken out of the game will earn 1,705 yuan. Qin Lin couldn't help but clenched his fists and wanted to cheer. If he earned 1,705 yuan a day, that month would be 51,150 yuan. Even if taxes were deducted, it was definitely a high income in a small place like Yushan County. Thinking about it, the game screen in Qin Lin's mind showed a reminder that it was grass growing and must be weeded immediately, otherwise the watermelon seedlings that grew out might wither due to the influence of weeds. After weeding, Qin Lin checked the time. It was already dark, so he got up and picked up some leftover vegetables to take home. He pulled down the shutters, and then went to the parking lot and rode a tricycle back home. In general, he needs to drive this minivan to buy goods every morning to supplement the consumption in the store, but tomorrow he only plans to use this truck to pull watermelons. With an income of 1,700 a day, it is no longer necessary to correct the profit of the vegetable store's daily sales. Even the hundreds of thousands owed by the family can be paid off quickly. Qin Lin rode his bike back to a relatively old neighborhood. After their family sold the house, they rented a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom apartment in this low-rent neighborhood. Went into a room, went up to the 3rd floor, and only after returning to the rented suite, saw my mother Lin Fen making dinner. Although the suite has 2 rooms, it is very narrow and small. It is divided into 2 rooms, and some daily sundries are piled up, making it even more narrow and dim. However, in this situation at home, and there are hundreds of thousands of foreign debts owed outside, there is no way. Qin Lin entered the door and said, "Mom, it was said that the food will be cooked when I come back. My body can't do much work, but it's not that I can't move. Come and eat." Lin Fen's body is poor and her face is not good looking, but she still speaks with a hint of stubbornness. Having worked all her life, it made her feel even more uncomfortable if she did nothing. "Hey!" Qin Lin also helplessly put the vegetables he brought back into the refrigerator. Lin Fen took a bowl of rice and handed it to Qin Lin, and asked, "How's the business in the store today?" "Well, it's better than yesterday, and it will be better in the future." Thinking of what happened today, Qin Lin spoke with inexplicable confidence. Lin Fen sighed when she heard her son's answer as always, "Xiao Lin, it's your parents who are sorry for you. Which of your peers doesn't have their parents to help them, and help them prepare the bride price and down payment for the house, but your father and I give them to you. You left hundreds of thousands in debt." "Mom, what are you talking about? You and Dad gave birth to me, raised me, and provided me to go to school. This is already the greatest favor." Qin Lin has never blamed his parents. After all, he is healthy and has been taken care of by his parents since childhood. The care is better than many people. The more her son said this, the more Lin Fen felt that she was useless, so she could only continue to sigh, "Xiao Lin, how are you and Mocking recently? Don't blame her parents, Mocking is a good girl, and the others' parents also. The benevolence and righteousness have been exhausted, no dowry is required, no car is required, and only a down payment is required for a small house, and our family can't get it, this is our own problem. You and Mocking stay together first, and when I feel better, I can visit the store, and then you can find a job. We mother and son will work hard together, and we will always pay a down payment for a suite. If you and Mocking fail to walk in the end together, don't complain." Qin Lin stopped eating when he heard this. Mo Ching is indeed very good. The two of them are in adjacent classes in high school. For 3 years of high school, apart from meeting each other on the way to and from school, they never said hello, but because they were admitted to the same university, they bought adjacent seats on the same train. We got to know each other formally, and slowly came together. Fate is so wonderful. Yu reading www.yuyugonshu.com. He really doesn't have the right to complain about Mocking's parents. In today's society, which parents would like their daughter to marry someone who has no car or house and owes hundreds of thousands of dollars? He doesn't want to change it. What's more, her parents don't want dowry, don't mention the car, they only ask for the down payment for a small apartment that is enough for 2 people, which is already more tolerant than countless Chinese parents. If this can't be done, it's their family's problem. Besides, the other superfluous ones just don't know what to do. Mom, don't worry, there will be a house. Mo Qing is also your daughter-in-law, she can't run away. Qin Lin quickly finished picking up the rice in the bowl, then went back to his room, opened a cabinet, and placed this marriage certificate. The male is Qin Lin and the female is Zhao Mocking. He and his mother said that Mocking was her daughter-in-law, and it wasn't just that he said it casually, but all this was hidden from both parents. When his girlfriend stole her household registration and wanted to register with him, saying that she recognized him in her life, the warmth in his heart could really melt the entire Antarctic glaciers. He knew how much courage Mo Qing had done, and he knew that he would never let her down in his life. He also knew that it was unfair to her to register with Mocking in that situation, and it was also a deception to the Zhao family, but he was even more afraid of losing the most precious thing in his life. Just thinking about it, the game screen in Qin Lin's mind began to move. He immediately put the marriage certificate away, locked the drawer again, and looked at the game screen in his mind. The watermelons in those fields have grown vines, and the watermelons will ripen tomorrow morning. However, there are also pests on the watermelon vines, which must be cleaned up, otherwise the watermelon growth rate and production quantity will be affected. Qin Lin's thoughts moved, and he controlled the game character to take out a small net for cleaning the pests, and cleaned the pests one by one. After cleaning up the pests on the watermelon vines, Qin Lin looked at the rest of the ranch. At present, 105 watermelons can be planted in 6 squares of land. The entire pasture is not limited to these 6 squares. If new land is developed, more watermelons can be planted. In this ranch story game, there are a total of 100 fields in the pasture, but there are weeds, stones, wood, stakes, etc. in these fields, and crops cannot be planted. Moreover, because of the game character level restrictions, some lands are not open and appear gray. However, as long as the game character keeps planting, the level can be increased, and new land can be opened. Players only need to clean up the weeds, stones, etc. and use it to plow the land to develop. Most importantly, as the character level increases, the land can be upgraded, more advanced crops can be planted, and even new functions can be opened. Seeing that there was still land that could be developed, Qin Lin began to control the game characters to go to the tool room to get tools, to deal with weeds, wood, and stones on the land that could be developed, and then open 6 squares of land to plant watermelon seeds. The watermelons in these 6 squares of Zindi should be ripe at noon tomorrow, and there are more than 100 watermelons. However, Qin Lin did not continue to develop new land. Instead, he found the warehouse rental information on the real estate agency website on his mobile phone. He is a cautious person. No matter where he enters the game to get watermelons in the city, once the number is too large, he may be noticed. Even if he finds a hidden place in the wild, he is afraid that if he is seen entering or leaving the game, then it's all trouble. So we had to find a warehouse, and it was remote and no one was around. Lock the warehouse like this, hide in the warehouse and take out the watermelon, without knowing it. There is a lot of rental information on the intermediary website. After searching for a long time, he really let him find a suitable one. The place is on the outskirts of Yushan County. There used to be a pig farm that built a warehouse for collecting pig grass, and built a separate road to go there. Usually no one goes there. But raising pigs is risky. The pig farm closed down due to a swine fever. Now the warehouse has been rented out. The rent is not expensive. It costs 2,000 a month. No one rented for a long time. However, Qin Lin felt that this place was right for him. The next day, Qin Lin woke up early in the morning and looked at the game screen on the light curtain in his mind. At the beginning, there were already mature watermelons lying on the ground in 6 squares. They directly controlled the game characters to pick them, put the watermelons into the storage room, removed the dead vines, and planted watermelon seeds again. The newly opened 6 squares also grew vines and produced watermelon buds, but weeds and pests also grew on the 6 squares. He immediately controlled the game character to clean up the weeds and pests, and then went out to contact the owner of the rented warehouse after having a little breakfast, and made an appointment to meet at the warehouse location. The location of the warehouse is a 10-minute drive from the county seat. The location is very remote, and generally few people come to this kind of place. The warehouse is also well preserved, and there is an open space for parking, even if the big truck turns around. This was originally used by the pig farm to transport pig grass for parking. The owner is a middle-aged man with a fat belly. After Qin Lin confirmed the information, he and the other party rented for 3 months. As soon as the 6,000 yuan rent went away, his bank card balance immediately bottomed out, but the money could be earned back immediately. After signing the contract, Qin Lin also added the other party's WeChat account. If you want to renew the lease, you can transfer money through WeChat. After that, the owner didn't stay too long. It seemed that he received a call to make an appointment to play cards, so he took his contract and left. Qin Lin opened the warehouse and walked in. It was as empty as a field, full of spider webs and dust. However, he didn't have much requirements for the environment. After a little cleaning, he took a few baskets from the tricycle and entered the warehouse, and then locked the warehouse door from the inside. After finishing, he thought about it, entered the game with the basket, and put the watermelon in the game storage room into the basket. With the thought, he appeared in the warehouse with a basket of watermelons. The watermelons were moved out several times. There were 106 watermelons in total. They were all large watermelons over 10 catties, but they were all of quality 1. After loading the watermelons into the car, he took a video of the carload of watermelons and sent it to the owner group of the fruit and vegetable store, and then sent another message: high sugar content, juicy and delicious seedless watermelon, the wholesale price is 1.5 yuan/catties, and it is delivered to your door. As soon as the news came out, I saw Lu Dashan appearing. Xiao Qin, are you going to pick up the goods so early? Your watermelon is really so good that anyone who has tasted it will buy it. Last night, it sold more than 10 more. Give me 20 more. Xiao Qin also made up 10 for me. Chen Dehi also appeared. I'll make up 20 here too. Ai Quini also spoke up. Okay, I'll send it to the 3 of you later. Qin Lin responded immediately. It is normal for the watermelons produced by the game to sell well. After all, the taste of each watermelon is the best among ordinary watermelons. Several fruit shop owners have emerged in the WeChat group. Boss Qin, you wholesale melons and deliver them to your door. Boss Qin, this melon looks good, send me a batch of it too. I'll try 32. Because of the presence of Lu Dashan and the 3 of them, seeing that the 3 of them were picking up goods from Qin Lin in a row, these people didn't ask to see the goods, and let him deliver them directly. After all, they didn't get much in, so even if there were tricks, there would be no loss, and if there were no tricks, it would save effort. Qin Lin saw the information and sent a reply: I will send melons to Brother Lu and the others first. If you need it, you can leave a private message and leave the address, and I will deliver it to your door. After that, he put down his phone and took the watermelon back to the county seat. When he returned to Market Street, he first sent melons to Lu Dashan, Chen Dehi, and Ai Qini. Lu Dashan bought 20 melons, 230 catties, and 345 yuan. He 10 melons, 115 catties, 172.5 yuan. Ai Quini has 20 melons, 245 pounds and 367.5 yuan. This adds up to another 885 yuan. After Qin Lin delivered the melons to Lu Dashan and the three, he took out his mobile phone and WeChat. He had already received 6 private messages, all of them intending to purchase, but the quantity was not large, and they were all small businesses. According to the integrated statistics, 4 companies will enter 10, and 2 companies will need 20. Qin Lin still had 55 melons in the car. He planned to send 2 companies that asked for 20 and a family of 10, and then explained to the other 3 companies and waited until noon. These 3 fruit shops are a little far from Market Street. One is next to the school, and both are on Nanbayan Street. There are 55 watermelons, a total of 632 catties, and another 948 yuan. A total of 1,833 yuan was recorded in this batch of watermelons that were ripe in the morning. The key is to cook another batch at noon. Thinking of this, Qin Lin was in a good mood. He drove back to his fruit and vegetable store with an empty car. He opened the roller blinds and heard a whimpering dog. Yesterday, the black dog ran out from an alley opposite, and the target seemed to be his shop. Qin Lin immediately glared at the black dog and scolded again, "Why is this going to depend on it?" After being reprimanded by him, the black dog not only did not run, but even grinned and ran faster with his tongue out. He arrived at the door of his shop in a blink of an eye, and he lay down and licked his paws in self-care. This is so. Qin Lin simply ignored the black dog, sat on the recycling counter, looked at the light curtain game in his mind, and watered the watermelon he planted earlier. At noon, Qin Lin got a hint in his mind that the newly opened 6block watermelon was also ripe. He immediately controlled the game characters to pick them, then removed the watermelon vines and planted new watermelon seeds. After that, he looked at the time and didn't plan to go home for dinner, so he called his mother and rode out of the city on an agricultural tricycle. Arrived at the warehouse, locked the door again, then entered the game and took out all the newly ripe watermelons. There are 110 watermelons harvested in this batch, but they are all of quality 1. Pulled the watermelon back to the county, and sent it to the other 3 stores that were booked in the morning. Although there were only 10 in each store, there were 30 in total, totaling 321 jin, and earned another 481.5. From the moment I was able to enter the game yesterday, a total of 4,017.5 yuan has been credited to my account. The money earned is the same as picking it up. When he returned to his fruit and vegetable store, Qin Lin's stomach was also growling. When he was in a good mood, he ordered an outside meal with 2 eggs and 2 drumsticks for himself. It was a luxury. Not long after, the takeout was delivered, and he ate it happily. The eggs are really fragrant, and the chicken legs are really fragrant. Woohoo! While eating, a dog bark sounded. The black dog squatted at the door of the store and stared straight at his takeaway. Seeing him, he immediately grinned and stuck out his tongue in anticipation. That look is a lively and flattering look. Qin Lin has a dark face. This dog really wants to be lazy to him? Even begging for food? He resolutely ignored it and ate on his own. You. The black dog's barking became weaker, and he seemed to be disappointed, and he cocked his head. His eyes were like a child who didn't ask for candy and was wronged. Seeing this, Qin Lin looked at the chicken leg with some meat in his hand, but couldn't put it in his mouth, so he gritted his teeth and threw it at the black dog. Men always lose because they are too soft-hearted. The black dog, however, was prepared for a long time, and his shrugged head stood up instantly, grinned and bit the chicken leg, and nibbled happily. What a face change! Qin Lin wondered if he had been tricked by a dog. Reading www.yuyuganshu.com thought, and quickly got to work. After a full meal, he took a video of the remaining 80 watermelons and sent it to the group of fruit and vegetable store owners to promote it. After that, he looked at the light curtain in his mind, and began to control the game characters to pick up tools to open up new land. Only by planting more watermelons could he sell more money. There are 12 more lands that can be developed now. He first used a sickle to clear the weeds in those fields, then used an axe to clear the wood, and finally used a hammer to remove the stones, so that the 12 blocks could be developed with a hoe. At this time, he received a WeChat message on his mobile phone. "Boss Chin, my name is Lu Ershen, and my brother is Lu Dashan. He said that the melons you have here are good, can you send me 50? Chin Lin's eyes lit up. Big client. Seeing that the other party's remark was next to the number 1 middle school in Yushan County, he understood. Everyone knows where the most profitable small shops are in Yushan County. Beside this season, iced watermelon, transparent plastic cups, and a few toothpicks are the most popular among students, and some even take one to school. Moreover, selling like this can make more profit than normal selling." Chin Lin sent a message back to the other party, removed 30 melons from the car and put them in his shop, and then sent the remaining 50 melons to Lu Ershen. 50 melons total 575 caddies, and the account is 862 yuan. After returning to his fruit and vegetable store, Chin Lin immediately looked at the game screen on the light curtain in his mind, and took out his to develop all the 12 grids he had cleaned up earlier. In just one day, the income is almost 5,000, and it is this game that makes a fortune. After all the 12 tiles were developed, Chin Lin controlled the game character to take out the seeds and start planting them. But this time I only planted 3 plots, but suddenly I got a prompt, insufficient seeds. Chin Lin patted his head and forgot about it. Seeds are needed to grow crops in the game. Seeds are not unlimited. When they run out, they need to go to the seed store in the game to buy them. However, he used all the money in the game to buy the seeds of seedless watermelon. According to the normal game rhythm, he planted watermelons and sold them for money in the game, and then bought new seeds for planting. This has been accumulating funds to develop pastures. Now, he has grown melons in the game and sold them in real life, so there is no way to make money back in the game, unless he sells the newly harvested watermelons in the game to get money to buy new seeds. However, he thought of one thing: can the seeds in reality be brought into the game for planting? As soon as he thought of it, Chin Lin closed the fruit and vegetable store and went to the designated crop seed sales point in Yushan County. As soon as he entered the door, the eldest sister sitting at the counter said enthusiastically, "Little brother, look, what seeds do you want to buy? Is there any seedless watermelon seeds?" Chin Lin asked while looking at the seeds in the store. Although the initial land in the game can grow a lot of fruits and vegetables, the trade of seedless watermelons has just opened up a little, so it is natural to continue to grow seedless watermelons. "Yes," the eldest sister introduced with a smile, "however, we are just ordinary seedless watermelons. One tail is 80 yuan. How much is the little brother? Buy 2 pounds first." Chin Lin wasn't sure if this seed could be planted in the game, so he didn't buy more. After returning to the fruit and vegetable store, he locked the door again, then entered the game and put the seeds in the seed storage. In the box. After finishing, he quit the game. Looking at the game screen on the light curtain in his mind, there was already a bag of watermelon seeds lying in the toolbox. Seedless watermelon seeds, quality 1. This is a seedless watermelon seed, which can be harvested after planting. Very simple remarks. Chin Lin immediately controlled the game characters to go to the newly opened 12 grids to plant. After a while, he couldn't help showing a look of joy when he saw that all 12 tiles showed the indication of the planted crops. The seeds outside can be obtained in the game. This solves a current problem. I just don't know if the watermelon grown from the seeds outside will taste the same as the watermelon grown from the game seeds. The next whole afternoon, someone in the WeChat group sold the remaining 30 watermelons wholesale. Chin Lin also sold all the fruits and vegetables he bought yesterday at a low price, and has no plans to buy any more. Now he sells melons full-time. When the sun went down, I closed the shop and went home. Mom had already made dinner. After eating, he immediately looked at the light curtain in his mind. The watermelon in the previous 1-2 slot area has worms, and the newly opened watermelon seedlings in the 12 segment area have weeds, which need to be cleaned up. After cleaning up the bugs and weeds, Qin Lin received a message on WeChat. Mo Qing's wife, it's over, go back tomorrow afternoon, come pick me up from get off work, and I want to eat watermelon. Seeing Zhao Moking's WeChat, Qin Lin immediately replied, okay, my wife. Like him, Mo Qing returned to Yushan County after graduating from university, but unlike him, Mo Qing had an uncle who worked in the Yushan County Taxation Bureau, so she took the civil servant exam and entered the Taxation Bureau. In the past few days, it seems that a township enterprise with a lot of assets has been found to have a problem. I heard that several leaders of the company were filmed and posted on a certain audio platform when they were eating, drinking and bragging at a farmhouse, and then they were unlucky. It brought a group of tax audits, and Mo Qing was in this group, probably doing the chores of auditing and calculation. Qin Lin and Mo Qing were tired of WeChat, and the video didn't end until late at night. The next day, when Qin Lin got up and looked at the light curtain game screen in his mind, the 2-4 watermelons above were all ripe. He looked at the watermelon planted with real seeds. There was a piece of green onion, which was not much different from the one planted with game seeds. Qin Lin controlled the game character, picked one of the watermelons planted in the real seed and put it in the storage room, and then entered the game with a thought. He went directly to the storage room. There were already 16 watermelons in the grid that were picked just now. They were still huge, and they were all over 10 pounds. Picking up one, he saw the remarks as well, seedless watermelon, quality 1. Remarks, although it is not a special type of watermelon, but the game produced, the deliciousness is also the best among ordinary watermelons, delicious +1, sweet +1, taste +1. The remarks are the same as before. Qin Lin was still worried about the game. He returned to the room with the watermelon in his hand, went directly into the kitchen and cut the watermelon into pieces, then picked up a piece and tasted it. In this way, it is no problem to use the real seeds to get the seeds, and then sell the watermelon, and there is no need to worry about the influence of the bad taste. Xiao Lin, why do you eat watermelon early in the morning? It's not good for your stomach. Mother Lin Fen couldn't help but nag when she entered the kitchen. Qin Lin explained with a smile, Mom, I want to taste the taste of this melon, and I will sell this melon in the future. Lin Fen didn't say anything else, but picked up a piece of watermelon, intending to help her son's miserable staff, and she was surprised. Xiao Lin, this melon tastes very good, and the watermelons we go to wholesale in our store are rare. This kind of taste, if everyone has and tastes, it will sell well. Having opened a fruit and vegetable store for a lifetime, Lin Fen knew whether this melon was good or not as soon as she tasted it. Qin Lin also looked at the light curtain in his mind, and controlled the game character to pick all the watermelons in the 24 grids and put them in the storage room, and then controlled the game character to remove the watermelon vines and plant new seeds. In this way, another batch of watermelons will ripen in the evening. Then, Qin Lin and his mother ate breakfast together before going out, riding a bicycle to the rented warehouse. Arrived at the warehouse, locked the door, entered the game with a thought, walked towards the storage room, and saw a sign as soon as I entered the door. The information on it was, seedless watermelon, 418, quality 1, this is the harvest of 24 grids this time. What surprised Qin Lin was that there were 3 separate watermelons behind the pile of watermelons, and they also had a brand message, seedless watermelon, 3, quality 2, has a higher quality watermelon appeared. This watermelon has a significantly darker rind and a more rounded shape. He immediately picked up one, and the message appeared in front of him, seedless watermelon, quality 2. Remarks, the high-quality watermelons produced by the game are far superior to the quality 1 watermelons in terms of taste, and fragrance. They can make you unable to control your taste buds. Delicious +2, sweet +2, taste +2, aftertaste +2. The delicious and sweet attributes of the quality 2 watermelon have become +2, and there is an additional attribute of +2 aftertaste. But this remark seems a bit exaggerated. A watermelon can still make people addicted, can't control their taste buds? It's not a delicacy from the mountains or the sea. Qin Lin is still curious about how much better the quality 2 watermelon and the quality 1 watermelon taste. However, let's get down to business first. He first removed all 418 watermelons from the game, and then took a video and posted it in the WeChat group. Just now arrived fresh seedless watermelon. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com 1.5 yuan/catty wholesale, door to door. Not long after the news was sent out, Qin Lin was still carrying watermelons in the car, and the WeChat beeping sounded. It was Lu Dashan's fruit and vegetable store owners who immediately sent the message to order. Even the watermelon of variety 1 tastes better than ordinary watermelons. In this season of eating watermelons, there will be no worries about selling watermelons. Customers who have bought them will be repeat customers. More than before. In addition, there are several new fruit shop owners in the WeChat group who have sent him orders for melons, 20 or 30. The fruit shops are located in Dongcheng and Shuoxi Street. After these 2 days of wholesale, the rest of the group naturally moved. Qin Lin calculated carefully. Today, the total number of watermelons wholesaled by these bosses has reached 395. This is almost the end of his batch of watermelons. After the statistics, he loaded the watermelon into the car and took it back to every store in the county to deliver the melons. At noon, he took a cart of watermelons to Market Street, where he delivered melons to Lu Dashan and the 3 of them on Market Street. "Little Qin, are you here?" Lu Dashan greeted Qin Lin with a smile. "Your melons are selling well, and I ordered 10 more melons today." "Thank you brother Lu for taking care of the business." Qin Lin started to move the melons to Lu Dashan with a smile. After the transaction, he sent the melons to Chen Dehi and Ai Kuni. At noon, he took the remaining 23 watermelons and returned them to his own. In the store. According to statistics, this batch of 395 watermelons has a total of 4,424 kilograms, and the account is 6,636 yuan. In this case, when the batch of watermelons matures in the evening, and the day they are sold, the daily income will exceed 10,000. On this day, he can earn the money he worked so hard to sell fruits and vegetables for a month. Qin Lin took out the 3 quality 2 watermelons individually. Now he wants to see if this quality 2 watermelon can really make people unable to control their taste buds. Carrying a watermelon to the front, pick up the knife and cut it in half, put 1/2 of the watermelon in the refrigerator, and cut the other half into petals. Just after putting down the knife, Qin Lin was shocked to find a black dog squatting beside him, stretching his head to look at the watermelon he cut. "What the hell, you come as soon as you want, don't treat yourself as an outsider." Qin Lin was unable to complain when he saw this black dog. However, he was about to earn more than 10,000 a day. He was in a good mood. He picked up a piece of watermelon for himself and lost a piece to the black dog. This guy is lucky. Qin Lin took a bite of the watermelon in his hand, and his eyes suddenly lit up. This quality 2 melon is surprisingly delicious, and it is full of sweetness in one bite. Moreover, the juice is cross-flowing, and there is absolutely no greasy feeling that the sugar is too sweet. The taste is also extremely crisp and raw, and it is perfect with the juice. The key is that after eating it in one bite, there is still a fragrance that can be aftertaste. This is the attribute of aftertaste +2. It's like eating watermelon and eating the delicacies of mountains and seas. This is definitely a lot better than the quality 1 watermelon. I don't know anything else. He once ate an imported special watermelon bought by a rich second-generation roommate in college. That watermelon tasted very good, but compared to this, it felt like scum. Guamaking must like to eat it. Qin Lin immediately finished eating the watermelon in his hand, and was about to pick up the other one, when he found that the black dog had already eaten the other one. The watermelon on the table stretched out its paws. Seeing Qin Lin look over, it whimpered, squatted back cowardly, and looked at Qin Lin eagerly. Qin Lin's brows wrinkled. This black dog even dared to jump on the table. This is something that a pet domestic dog can do. Does the dog don't know his identity, or is it floating? Qin Lin ignored the thick-skinned black dog, picked up another piece of watermelon and gnawed it on his own. This watermelon was really fragrant. He just finished eating a piece of watermelon, and there was movement at his feet. The black dog was rubbing his head against his leg, and looked at him with a flattering grin. Fuck me. Qin Lin was stunned. Has this dog become a sperm? Give him this set? Looking at the way it looked, he felt ashamed if he didn't give it a melon, so he had to throw another piece of watermelon for it, and he didn't forget to solemnly warn the black dog, the last piece is gone, no more. This is even more delicious than imported special watermelon. I ate 2 petals for a dog. How many people have never even eaten imported special watermelon? It can be said that 99% of the people in Yushan County have never eaten, let alone this more delicious quality 2 watermelon. Qin Lin solved 2 watermelons with 3 strokes, 5 and 2. After the black dog ate another one, he honestly lay down at the door of his shop, showing his belly happily. Qin Lin has nothing to do now, so he simply closed the store door again, and then entered the game, intending to explore the game world. This ranch story is not just about the pasture, the map is still very large, there are towns and ports outside, and the mountains are backed by it. Qin Lin entered the game and walked towards the exit of the ranch, intending to go out to the ranch to have a look, but when he arrived at the door, he found that there was an invisible wall of air blocking him, and he couldn't get out at all. This seems to be some kind of limitation. He had no choice but to wander around the pasture. There was no obstacle in the entire pasture. There were weeds everywhere, the pastures waiting to be repaired, the open space waiting for the factory to be built, and the river that passed through the pasture. Qin Lin quit the game after spending some time figuring out the approximate scope and location of the entire ranch. When the sun began to go down, the market street was also lively, and it was time to prepare vegetables and fruits for dinner. Qin Lin looked at the game screen in his mind again, and the watermelons in the 24 grids were already ripe. He immediately controlled the game characters to pick watermelons and put them in the storage room. Ripe batches in the morning. However, in order to truly achieve a daily income of 10,000 yuan, we need a new market for watermelons. According to the needs of the fruit shops in the WeChat group, the output of more than 400 watermelons in 24 grids is enough to satisfy one batch a day. This is the limitation of their storefront location. The fixed source of customers for this kind of private store is about 5 kilometers away. Even on Market Street, the source of customers is limited, because there is not a large enough parking lot here. Most people choose to go to the commercial plaza in Dongcheng, where there is the largest RT Mart supermarket in the county, and there is a large enough parking lot. Just as he was thinking, WeChat received a message. Mo Qing's wife, I've already returned to the bureau, remember to pick me up from get off work. Seeing WeChat, Qin Lin smiled and resumed a sentence. Then he decisively closed the store and went home. After taking a good shower at home, he went out again. He rode downstairs on his own electric car and set off. The Yushan County Taxation Bureau was in the Dongcheng area along the river. When Qin Lin arrived on his electric bike, it was almost 5 o'clock. The Taxation Bureau had already finished get off work. After all, it was a 9:05 unit. Soon, he saw Zhao Mocking come out. She has a beautiful face, only wearing light makeup, but a pair of smart peach eyes added a lot of beauty. Zhao Mocking is not a beautiful woman, but it is the kind that many people chase after on the street. The key is that as long as two people look at each other, the other is the best and most beautiful. Qin Lin was about to say hello when he saw a handsome young man with oily hair chasing him out of the building. "Mo Qing, let's drop by and take you back," the young man said. He didn't forget to press the car key in his hand. An Audi car flashed the lights, showing his strength. He naturally wanted to chase after Zhao Mocking. Although he is also an ordinary civil servant, with the support of his parents and his sister-in-law, he has created a better capital for him than his peers who have just graduated for a year or two. He spent 5,000 salary to buy Audi. "Chen Hao, no, my husband is here to pick me up." Zhao Mocking was obviously embarrassed to be chased in front of Qin Lin. In order to prevent Qin Lin from misunderstanding, she walked over to Qin Lin and sat on his electric car. "Car. Let's go," Mo Qing said. Qin Lin nodded and started the small electric motor to leave. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Chen Hao looked at Xiaobian, who was far away, but subconsciously looked at the car keys in his hand, and was a little puzzled. Where did he lose the key? Is why do you have a husband? Really good cabbage was arched by a pig. The little electric drove on the street, but with the oncoming wind, it was like driving 80 miles. Mo Qing hugged Qin Lin's waist tightly, pressed close to his back, and asked, "I said I want to eat watermelon, are you ready?" "Well, a surprise for you." Qin Lin nodded, tacitly not mentioning what happened just now. This is the most basic trust. Otherwise, if your wife is chased by others, you will have trouble in your heart. Then you can just find someone ugly or single. Back in the store, Zhao Mocking asked expectantly, "What about the surprise?" Qin Lin immediately took out the other half of the quality 2 watermelon in the refrigerator and cut it, and handed it to Mocking. "Try it." Zhao Mocking took the watermelon, took a small bite, and felt a strong fragrance spread on the tip of his nose, and then an indescribable sweetness invaded the taste buds. "Qin Lin, why is this melon so delicious?" Zhao Mocking couldn't help but be surprised. She had never eaten such a delicious watermelon when she grew up. "I know that you like watermelon, and it was specially prepared for you," Qin Lin said, and picked up a piece for himself and gnawed it. He found that the watermelon tasted even better after it was frozen. If this quality 2 melon can be mass-produced, then there is no problem selling it at the price of imported special melons. "Give me another slice." Zhao Mocking has turned into a snack food. She originally controlled her diet for the sake of her figure. Even if she likes to eat watermelon, she will not eat too much. Now she can't take care of this delicious watermelon. "I ate several petals." It is a good idea to mass-produce quality 2 watermelons and sell them at the price of imported special watermelons, but at present there are only 3 watermelons of this quality 2, and I have eaten 1. So, let's not take care of the current business first, at least pay off the family's debts first, pay down a house, let my mother live in a better place, and then take Mo Qing home to live with him in an upright manner. Thinking of this, Qin Lin walked behind Zhao Mocking and put his arms around her waist, and his hands were not honest. "Mocking, why don't you go back tonight?" Zhao Mocking didn't understand what he meant, and said in a sullen voice, "I'm not going home at night, my mother must know that I'm with you. She'll be nagging again then." Qin Lin sighed, "Then what should we do? It's been too hard to hold back these hours." "Humph." Zhao Mocking grabbed the somewhat dishonest hand on his body and hummed, "Wait a minute, I'll call home and say that my colleagues are having dinner outside, and I'll be back later in the evening. That's the best way, then I'll book a room." Qin Lin skillfully took out his mobile phone and made an online reservation for a big bedroom with a large bathtub in the Dongcheng Hotel. The bathtub is not big, and the bed is not big enough. Even if you have already obtained the certificate, you still have to do it like an underground affair. Is it easy? After booking the room, I took out my wallet and looked at the 2 small umbrellas left in it. They were enough. "Mom, don't worry, I'm not with him, I know, I won't let him take advantage. Zhao Mocking hung up after reassuring the phone, then took Qin Lin's arm and said, "Look at it. My mother guards you like a thief. Or, shall we showdown with the family? I want to live with you every day. Give me some time." Qin Lin hurriedly stopped Zhao Mocking's impulsive thoughts. After a showdown, the two families will definitely not feel well. His mother will be happy and guilty. Zhao Mocking's parents will definitely feel uncomfortable and annoyed. Even if they finally pinch their noses and admit it, the relationship between the two families will be frozen, and there will always be pimples in their hearts. The current average room in Yushan County is 12,000 square meters. For a house of 100 square meters, the tax payment for various procedures is about 1.3 million yuan. The down payment is about 400,000 yuan. If you add decoration, you should prepare more than 600,000 yuan. If he really didn't have the confidence in the past, but now he can expand his business and ensure that he can sell 24 squares of ripe watermelons every day, then the money will be earned in 2 months. If the character's level is improved and more lands can be opened, the time will be shorter. At that time, Mocking can be taken back in an open and honest way, and a big surprise can be given to her. I also have an explanation to Mocking's parents. Wouldn't it be better if the two families did things festively? Well, listen to you, then let's go. Zhao Mocking nodded with a smile. She never doubted Qin Lin, even if the man she chose, even if she could only go to showdown in the end, that was the one she was willing to choose. Dongcheng Hotel is the largest hotel in Yushan County. It faces the riverside park and can see a beautiful night view. However, when a man and a woman come to the hotel to open a room, who will be on the night scene? After registering at the front desk and getting the room card, Qin Lin took Zhao Mocking into the elevator and went upstairs. As soon as he entered the room and the door was locked, he couldn't wait to lift the defense on Mocking's body, and then led her to go straight. Large bathtub. Continuous madness. Apart from the intermission, Qin Lin ran out of 2 small umbrellas, and Qin Lin took Zhao Mocking out of the hotel with satisfaction, and went to the night market stall to eat something before sending her home. After saying goodbye to Zhao Mocking, Qin Lin returned home and looked at the game screen in his mind. When I was crazy with Zhao Mocking in the hotel, I received a notification that weeds and bugs appeared in the game, and I couldn't care less at that time. Get up the next day. The watermelon of 24 squares is ripe again. Qin Lin controlled the game characters to pick them, put them in the storage room, removed the withered watermelon vines, and planted the seeds again, so that they could ripen again in the evening. In the storage room, together with the batch that ripened yesterday evening, 2 batches of watermelons have been accumulated. Lock the door. Enter the game. As soon as I got to the storage room, I saw watermelons piled up like a hill. Seedless watermelon, 836, quality 1, seedless watermelon, 7, quality 2, there were a total of 843 watermelons in the 2 batches, and 7 watermelons of quality 2 were isolated separately. After quitting the game, Qin Lin ate a bowl of porridge and went to the warehouse. It took some time to move all the 843 watermelons out of the game, and then he took another video and sent it to the WeChat group. After a while, the bosses of Lu Dashan appeared one after another, but they were all wholesalers before, and there were no new orders. In addition to selling fruits, this group also sells vegetables, seafood, etc., so the sales potential is so great. According to statistics, there are 411 orders from these people today. Qin Lin hurriedly loaded the watermelons into the truck. It took 3 hours to pull the watermelons in batches and deliver them from family to family. In the end, the total amount was 4,521 catties, and the income was 6,781 yuan. However, when I returned to the warehouse, there were still 422 watermelons left in it. There will be a batch of watermelons that will ripen in the afternoon, and there will be more than 400. It is necessary to find new channels. Moreover, he also has a goal, that is, the RT Mart supermarket in the Oriental Commercial Plaza. The Oriental Commercial Plaza is the center of the flow of people in Yushan County. It has the largest parking lot. The entire commercial building of the plaza has all kinds of shops, bars, cinemas, etc. It is full of food, drink, and entertainment. RT Mart has the best location on the first floor. It has a large area and a complete range of classified areas. It has the largest passenger flow in Yushan County. The sales volume of watermelons in Lu Dashan's fruit and vegetable stores is not necessarily as much as that of RT Mart's melon and fruit section. Qin Lin hurriedly took 2 watermelons and put them on his small electric car, and then rode to RT Mart supermarket. Now all he has to do is how to get his watermelon into the RT Mart supermarket. He also inquired clearly. In addition to special bidding channels, RT Mart also often wholesales some sources of preferential prices. Naturally, there is a way to do this. Arriving at the office area of RT Mart supermarket, Qin Lin directly stuffed a pack of cigarettes into the security guard and inquired about the purchasing manager's office. A pack of cigarettes was put into his pocket, and the security guard enthusiastically helped Qin Lin to move a watermelon to Manager Chen's office of the purchasing department. There are many security guards who come to the purchasing department, but they have one purpose. Manager Chen also instructed them to pick up his office directly. Manager Chen is a fat and greasy man with a big belly. After reading www.yuyuganshu.com learned of Qin Lin's purpose, he pretended to take a closer look at the 2 melons he brought. The appearance of the melons is good, it is good melon. Manager Chen, do you think this melon can go into the supermarket? Qin Lin asked. Manager Chen immediately looked embarrassed and said, Xiao Qin, you also know that there are many melon and fruit distributors who come to your door every day. I have already cooperated with others, and business must be done with integrity. Qin Lin knew that the meat show was coming. If he really wanted to be honest, he wouldn't talk to him so much. He immediately said, Manager Chen, isn't the supermarket also profitable? The wholesale price is 1.5 yuan per pound. I am here. You can let some, 1.3 yuan a pound. Manager Chen said with an embarrassed expression, Xiao Qin, you know it's difficult for me to be in this position. Qin Lin knew this well, and immediately said with a smile, Manager Chen, then I'll give you a little more profit, 1.2 yuan a pound, will you always let me make some money? He knew that only he could make this concession. After all, he was a business without capital. Manager Chen smiled, Xiao Qin, since you are so sincere, we want your melon from the supermarket, but the wholesale price of your invoice is 1.4 yuan per pound. Manager Chen, don't worry, I know. Qin Lin smiled, but his heart was full of complaints. He has long known this method, 1.4 yuan per caddy is cheaper than normal wholesale, and he has already explained to the supermarket, as for the 1 caddy and 20 cents, it will fall into this Manager Chen's pocket. Don't look at the gross profit of only 2 per pound, what if you have 5,000 pounds per day? That's 1,000 yuan, or 30,000 yuan a month. This is just a watermelon. Thinking about the variety of melons and fruits in the whole supermarket, how much oil and water can Manager Chen earn in a month? What's so special? However, how much oil and water Manager Chen can have in a month is none of his business. This kind of thing can be seen everywhere in society. If the other party can sit in such a position, he must have a background in the RT Mart system. Otherwise, how would he dare to ask for a card in such a nationwide chain group? His purpose is just to sell melons, and that's fine. Moreover, this is also good for him. Generally, this kind of order is a single settlement, that is, a single settlement, and he opens an invoice to settle a single order, so he will not be pressed. Xiao Qin, how many melons do you have? Manager Chen is obviously most concerned about this question. Qin Lin explained, Manager Chen, there are 800 pieces in the first batch, each weighing more than 10 kilograms. I will send 800 pieces when I go back next time, and more than 400 pieces in the evening. As for the future, there will be no less than 800 pieces every day. Manager Chen did some mental calculations and was satisfied, so he said with a smile on his face, "Okay, you can send me the invoice every day after you have delivered the goods, and I will ask the finance department to settle the bill for you." That will trouble Manager Chen. Qin Lin and Manager Chen had a good talk and left. Manager Chen was in a good mood when he saw the 2 watermelons left by Qin Lin, so he asked them to cut them open and share them with the employees outside. Qin Lin returned to the warehouse and took the remaining 422 watermelons to RT Mart twice for signature. A total of 4,557 pounds. In the evening, the watermelons in the game matured again. In this batch of seedless watermelons, there are 411 quality 1 watermelons and 3 quality 2 watermelons. Qin Lin planted new seeds, then moved all 411 watermelons from the game to the warehouse outside, and sent them to RT Mart in 2 batches again, this time 4,471 jins, plus the previous batch of 4,557 jins, a total of 9,028 jins. After Qin Lin finished delivering the goods, he took the list and invoice to Manager Chen for a statement, and the money arrived quickly. Your last number, the income amount is 10,899.60 yuan, and the balance is 31,344.60 yuan in the past 4 days, relying on the watermelons grown in the game. The bank card that had bottomed out had a balance of more than 30,000. Moreover, every day from now on, I can earn 10,000 yuan. When the game characters are upgraded and more grids can be developed, the income will be more that day. Qin Lin was in a good mood, so he simply went into the RT Mart supermarket to do some shopping and went home. But when he passed the melon and fruit area and saw the watermelons being sold, he became restless. Special quality watermelon, 3 yuan a pound. Next to him was an ordinary melon of 2 yuan a pound, but he recognized it at a glance. Isn't this so-called special quality watermelon of 3 yuan a pound the watermelon he sent? Then Manager Chen must know that every one of his melons is better than ordinary melons, so he dares to sell it at this price. Black. It's so dark. The profit at this price is especially equal to his worthless profit. However, in the era when the channel is king, people have the ability to sell the channel at this price, and he can't be jealous, so he simply ignores the price and goes directly to other districts. When he got home, he received another reminder of long bugs and weeds in his mind, and he immediately controlled the game character to weed and weed. The next day, Qin Lin woke up early in the morning and the watermelons were ripe again. Today, the shop owners sent him a message early in the morning to wholesale watermelons. This is obviously a habit of finding him wholesale watermelons. He went to the warehouse and moved the ripe watermelons out of the game. This time, there is no watermelon of quality 2, there are a total of 428 watermelons of quality 1. He took the video and posted it in the WeChat group. When he saw that there were no new orders, he did a count. These stores were about the same as yesterday, with a total of 408 wholesales, and 4,732 kilograms of them were over-delivered, and a total of 7,099 yuan was credited to the account. In the evening, the watermelon matured again and sent it to Darun, with a total of 4,970 caddies and 5,964 yuan in the account. Today, a total of 13,063 yuan has been entered into the account, and the balance has reached 46,409 yuan. After sending the melons to Darun, Qin Lin hurried to the Industry and Commerce Bureau again. His original store only had relevant certificates for self-employed business. Now he is batching watermelons like this, he feels that he needs to apply for a fruit wholesale business license, otherwise there will be problems. Just big trouble. But when he arrived at the Industry and Commerce Bureau, he filled in the information for a long time, but was finally told that he did not need a wholesale license for his situation. Only then did Qin Lin realize that he was lonely. The original food-related Article 35 stipulates that a single type of fruit does not reach the basic scale, and fruit farmers do not need a wholesale license for direct wholesale. Qin Lin left the Industry and Commerce Bureau, and when he got home, he received an unexpected reminder: as the character level increases, new land can be developed. Open Level 2 Land Upgrade Permission, you can upgrade 6 blocks of land. Qin Lin's eyes lit up, and he immediately looked at the game screen on the light curtain in his mind. Sure enough, another 6 squares of land lights up, which means that it can be developed. Moreover, there is also a sign for the amount of land that can be upgraded, with the suffix O/6. In other words, now not only can 6 new blocks of land be opened, but also 6 blocks of primary land can be upgraded to level 2. Without any hesitation, Qin Lin immediately controlled the game character to pick up tools such as sickle, axe, etc., to clean up the weeds, stones, wood blocks, etc. in the 6 blocks of land, and then used it to develop all the 6 blocks of land. When I came out, I planted watermelon seeds for the first time. However, he does not plan to sell the new melons of these 6 tiles in real life, because upgrading 2 level land requires in-game gold coins. Moreover, after upgrading the 2 level land, other more expensive things can be planted. A watermelon with 6 blocks of land can be upgraded to 1 block of land in 2 days when 2 batches of watermelons are ripened in 1 day. In this way, 6 blocks of level 2 land can be upgraded in 12 days. In the next 2 days, Qin Lin earned another 26,123 yuan from the previous 24 blocks, and the balance of the bank card reached 72,532 yuan. The newly opened watermelons of 6 blocks are all sold in the game, and a block of level 2 land has been developed. After upgrading a level 2 land, Qin Lin immediately controlled the characters to leave the ranch and went to the Ore Town seed store outside the ranch to check. The seed store has a dense variety of seeds, some of which are in reality, and even those that are not in reality. They are all here. Each seed is marked with the land grade requirements. It will be opened only if it meets the requirements for planting seeds. If the requirements are not met, it will be gray and not open for the time being. Qin Lin immediately searched for the many second-level seeds, including vegetables, fruits, and seedlings of various ornamental flower plants. He directly chose to plant fruits to check, and the prices of many fruits were far higher than that of watermelons. However, most of the planting of seedlings, or other reasons, put a lot of restrictions on him, and they were not secretive enough to ignore them directly. In the end, he found a level 2 fruit seed that was very suitable for his current situation to plant. That's red strawberries. Qin Lin checked the internet and found that it is not the red strawberry season at this stage, which means that red strawberries are already out of season at this time, and the market price has reached 1,525 yuan per pound. Seeing the price, Qin Lin immediately went to the designated seed sales point in Yushan. It was still the eldest sister. The other party still remembered Qin Lin. "Little brother, what seeds do you want this time?" Qin Lin said, "Sister, do you have any red strawberry seeds?" The sales eldest sister immediately introduced enthusiastically, yes, red strawberry seeds are 45 yuan/2. Qin Lin bought the strawberry seeds again, paid the money to go home, entered the game as soon as possible, and put the strawberry seeds into the seed storage box. Returning to reality again, Qin Lin looked at the game screen, and there were indeed more strawberry seeds in the seed storage box. Qin Lin was about to plant strawberry seeds on that level 2 land. At night, after watering, except for weeds and pests, he went to sleep with anticipation. The next morning, I woke up and looked at the game screen on the light screen in my mind. In addition to the green watermelon, there was a red and green strawberry that stood out. Qin Lin entered the game for the first time, and came to the strawberry planting field. The game screen was only a small frame from the outside, but in the game, the whole red and green area made people feel refreshed. I used to fall in love with Zhao Mocking, and I often went to the strawberry plantation to pick strawberries by myself. Naturally, it was not to save money, but the couple just liked that kind of atmosphere. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Qinlin picked a few strawberries, which were full of fruit and bright red, definitely very appetizing. At the same time, he also saw the message, Red Strawberry, Quality 1. Remarks, although it is not a special type, it is produced by the game and tastes very good. It is the best among red strawberries. It is delicious +1, sweet +1, and taste +1. Similarly, the strawberries produced in this game also have the attributes of deliciousness, sweetness, and +1 taste. Although the remarks say so, Qinlin is an experience party, and he mainly experiences it himself. He put a strawberry in his mouth and gnawed it. Juice immediately overflowed in the mouth, tender and juicy and sweet and seductive, with aroma. 1 word, delicious. 2 words, very delicious. If ordinary strawberries sell for 1,525 yuan, the strawberries produced by his game can definitely exceed the 25 yuan grade, or even higher. Back outside, Qinlin controlled the game characters to click and picked all the ripe watermelons and red strawberries into the storage market. This time, in addition to the watermelon, the red strawberries in 1 grid of land have also harvested 50 kilograms. However, he chose to sell these red strawberries directly in the game. First, he upgraded the other 5 level 2 land that can be upgraded. Because strawberry cultivation began to be sold in the game, the time for all 6 lands to be upgraded to level 2 lands was greatly reduced, and it was completed in 7 days. In the past 7 days, Qinlin's watermelon wholesale income has reached 94,211 yuan, and the balance of the card has reached 166,743 yuan. The income of more than 160,000 yuan in 13 days was something he could never imagine before. Now, all 6 blocks of level 2 land have been upgraded, and the income will increase by a lot after that. Early in the morning, Qinlin got up and looked at the game screen in his mind. 24 squares of watermelon and 6 squares of red strawberries are ripe. He controlled the game character to put all the watermelon and red strawberries into the storage room, and then hoed the withered watermelon and strawberry vines, and replanted watermelon seeds and strawberry seeds. I'm going to sell red strawberries today. The red strawberries produced by the game all have attributes. He is not afraid of not being able to sell them. Moreover, in order to facilitate his plans to sell them to RT Mart, he just needs to consider the wholesale price. Although the wholesale price of ordinary red strawberries in Yushan County is around 15 yuan, the price of strawberries produced by his game should not be limited to that. So, he first checked the overall wholesale price of red strawberries on the internet. There are also many types of red strawberries. Due to the influence of the region, the wholesale price is very mixed. The ordinary red strawberries are simply skipped. He specializes in some large-scale wholesales, and the price is higher than that of ordinary strawberries. Among them, the wholesale price of creamy red strawberries reached 30 yuan a pound, daily Angshan red strawberries were also 36 yuan a pound, and Miaoxiang red strawberries were 29 yuan a pound. These are special varieties of strawberries that are 1 level higher than ordinary red strawberries. He has also eaten most of these strawberries. The quality 1 strawberries produced by the game are definitely better than these strawberries. It is no problem to set a wholesale price of 30 yuan per pound. Thinking of RT Mart selling his watermelon as a special quality watermelon, then he is a special quality red strawberry. At the warehouse, Qinlin entered the game again and went to the storage room. There are a total of 423 watermelons in this batch, and there are 5 watermelons of quality 2 next to them. As for strawberries, 300 caddies were harvested, and there were 2 caddies of quality 2 strawberries next to them. Qinlin grabbed a few and saw the remarks. Red strawberry, quality 2. Remarks, the high-quality red strawberries produced by the game are far superior to the quality 1 red strawberries in terms of taste, and fragrance, and are definitely a good product to tempt the taste buds. Delicious +2, sweet +2, taste +2, aftertaste +2. Seeing the remark attribute, Qinlin immediately threw one into his mouth. As soon as I tasted it, I couldn't help but close my eyes and enjoy it. The sweetness penetrated directly into his taste buds, which left him with endless aftertastes, and he couldn't help but threw another one into his mouth. Like the quality 2 watermelon, these attribute bonuses turn the quality 2 strawberry into a delicious mountain and sea flavor. In college, the rich second-generation roommate also bought imported milk-flavored strawberries that cost 200 yuan a pound, and felt that the taste was compared to this. Qinlin started to carry this batch of watermelons, and then delivered the watermelons wholesaled by Lu Dashan and other bosses one by one, with a total of 4,098 caddies and an income of 6,147 yuan. After that, he went to RT again with 2 caddies of red strawberries of quality 1, and asked manager Chen to discuss the red strawberries. The wholesale price of a pound of red strawberries is 30 pounds. If you collect 300 pounds in the morning, you can earn 9,000 yuan for this batch, which is more than 24 squares of watermelon. Mr. Qin, I'm here, I just want to find you. Manager Chen was obviously very polite when he saw Qinlin's arrival. In the past 10 days, he has earned more than 10,000 yuan from Qinlin's side, and Xiao Qin has also become President Qin. Besides, he has something to discuss with Qinlin this time, so he is naturally more polite. Manager Chen also took the initiative to pull Qinlin to the tea table beside him, and poured Qinlin a cup while making tea. Southerners, many self-conscious business talks will be conducted at the tea table, and even many small street shops will have a tea table, which seems to be more interesting. Qinlin asked with a smile, Manager Chen, what's the matter? Manager Chen smiled and went straight to the topic, Mr. Qin, we have been working together for more than 10 days. To be honest, your melon is really good and easy to sell. Originally, I have enough of the melons you provided, but there is also our RT Mart supermarket in Shachan, and I also want to buy your melons. We will take as many as you want. Qinlin understood this. This is probably a slight change in the relationship between supply and demand. More than just selling games? Can it be more expensive than ordinary melons? His melons gave this manager Chen money to fish, and the key point was to make Mart's supermarkets more profitable, which meant that this manager Chen still had credit. I'm afraid that manager Chen is also arguing in Shachan. But unfortunately, there are only so many lands in the game now, and only those melons can be provided every day. Manager Chen, I'm really sorry. I can only provide so many watermelons every day, and I can't do anything about it. However, I still have a variety of strawberries that can be wholesaled here, no less than 500 kilograms a day. Manager Chen can try it first. Qinlin first said apologetically, and then took advantage of the situation to promote his strawberries, and while speaking, handed the strawberries he brought to the table in front of Manager Chen. Manager Chen subconsciously looked at those strawberries, picked up one of them and tasted them habitually, and took a bite, showing surprise in his eyes. As the purchasing manager of RT Mart Yushan branch, whether it is the red strawberries distributed uniformly above or purchased by myself, I have eaten a lot of red strawberries, but there is absolutely no taste of red strawberries that can compare to this one. Even the previous batch of 55 yuan a pound of strawberries in the Jaishan district did not taste as good as this one. After eating one, Manager Chen immediately picked up the second one, and then the third one. After eating a dozen or so in one go, he was sure that this was definitely not an ordinary strawberry, and like that watermelon, he would never worry about selling it. He immediately asked the question he cared about most, President Qin, what is the wholesale price of this red strawberry? Qinlin explained, Manager Chen, this is a special quality strawberry. The wholesale price is 30 yuan per pound. It's only 30. Manager Chen said immediately when he heard the price, "Mr. Chen, I'll ask for all you have, but you need to add 2 yuan to the invoice price." He has even thought about it. From Chen Lin's batch of 30 yuan per pound, the reported wholesale price is 32 yuan, and the sale price is 40 yuan or more. It is also a profit for the supermarket, and he has a lot of credit. "Manager Chen, I know that the wholesale price is 32 yuan when someone asks." Chen Lin agreed with a smile. "Anyway, the price he asked for has already been reached." Manager Chen smiled even more, brought another cup of tea to Chen Lin, picked up the cup to toast and said, "Mr. Chen, it's a pleasure to cooperate." "Happy cooperation." Chen Lin also picked up the teacup and touched the other party. After a cup of tea, he got up and said, "Manager Chen, then I will send a batch of strawberries first, and I will send another batch of watermelons in the evening." "Strawberries are also delivered." Manager Chen nodded and said, "Okay, Mr. Chen can find me with the list at any time." Chen Lin negotiated the sale of strawberries and left Ritmart's office area in a good mood, then went to buy a few special baskets for strawberries. Strawberries are different from watermelons, so be careful when handling them. After that, he went to the warehouse and took out all the 300 caddies of strawberries. If this batch of strawberries ripened in the evening and weighed more than 300 kilograms, the strawberries from the 6 level to level land could be sold for 18,000 yuan. This is added to the daily income of watermelon, which is not far from the monthly income of 1 million. After Chen Lin delivered the red strawberries to RT Mart, it was raining. When the rain subsided slightly, it was noon when he returned to Market Street. Back at the door of the store, the black dog was hiding outside his store to avoid the rain. He was wet, curling up and licking the water stains on his body. "This black dog is getting more and more hideous. I haven't chased it for more than 10 days, and I have to settle down here. You. Seeing Chen Lin, the black dog stood up abruptly and grinned at him. Chen Lin pretended to ignore the black dog, opened the door of the store, and went in. After working for a long time, his stomach was growling, and he decisively took out his mobile phone and ordered takeout. With 2 big drumsticks and 2 fried eggs, he is now also qualified to have a little extravagance. Just as he was about to settle the bill, he suddenly looked at the black dog who was creeping in and out of the store, and the black dog seemed to have noticed his gaze sensitively. Staring at him, Chen Lin silently operated on his mobile phone and added another big drumstick before he settled the bill. The black dog wandered around him every day, which really gave him a strange feeling. Humans are probably such complex animals. Just like when a woman encounters a dog licking, although she hates it, but when she is used to being licked, it will be regarded as a show-off capital. Soon, the delivery boy is here. Chen Lin took the takeaway and placed it on the table to open it. He Quanshu, who had been squatting, stood up from the ground, his head staring straight at the takeaway on the table. Seeing this, Chen Lin simply teased the dog, and deliberately nibbled at the black dog with the chicken leg, making an appearance of intoxication. Instead, the black dog stuck out his tongue, and his head was hooked further forward, as if he was waiting for him to lose his chicken bones. Chen Lin really found it interesting, so he picked up a big chicken leg and threw it to the black dog. The black dog opened his mouth and bit the chicken leg with an incredible reaction speed. It didn't seem to think that it was waiting for bones, but when it waited for meat, its eyes widened, which was stunned. Chen Lin ignored the black dog, and while he was eating, he focused on the game screen of the light curtain in his mind. There are worms again, and I also need to water. The game problem was solved, and the takeaway was finished. Just as he was about to clean up, he found movement at his feet. The black dog was gently rubbing against his calf, as if he was making a further tentative gesture. Seeing Chen Lin look at it, it shrank its head again and squatted back to the door of the store. Evening. The watermelons and red strawberries in the game are ripe again. There are 421 watermelons in this batch and 301 kilograms of red strawberries. All of them were taken out of the game and sent to RT Mart warehouse in batches for weighing, and then I found manager Chen to put today's order. Settled. 421 watermelons are 7,893 yuan, 606 caddies of strawberries are 18,180 yuan, plus the watermelons wholesaled to Lu Dashan in the morning 6,341 yuan, today's daily income, 32,414 yuan. When he came out of RT Mart, the bank text message that RT Mart had received the money had also arrived, your last number. The income amount is 26,073.00 yuan, and the balance is 199,157.60 yuan. The deposit is about to exceed 200,000. Qin Lin couldn't help but glanced at the information a few more times before putting away his phone, then drove the tricycle back to Market Street and parked, and then rode on a small electric motor to the tax bureau to pick up Zhao Mocking. Fortunately, Qin Lin's little electric motor stopped at the gate when he saw Chen Hao walking out last time. Looking at the small electric bike Qin Lin was riding, Chen Hao couldn't help but picked up the car key and pressed it to unlock, causing his Audi car to make an unlocking sound and the lights flashed. This is obviously meant to show off. Aren't men so vulgar? Showing off is nothing more than career, house, car, and women. Naturally, there are also men who are not so vulgar, who either have really achieved fame and will not do such low-level things again, or there is really nothing to show off. Chen Hao obviously doesn't match up with the two, so he is vulgar. In his heart, he drives an Audi, while the other party rides a small electric, so he has an inexplicable sense of superiority. At this time, a fat young man came out to greet Chen Hao and said, "Chen Hao, why didn't you wait for Zhao Mocking? Didn't you want to invite her to dinner and confess? You should be able to catch her on your terms, right?" These abrupt words made Chen Hao feel the blow on the superiority on his face, and walked towards his car without saying a word. What the heck, Zhao Mocking walked away with an electric car driver. He was all messed up in the wind, and he was still eating hairy rice? He really didn't understand. Why is he still single when a cabbage rides an electric bike and can reach such a slick cabbage? Why? The fat young man was bewildered by Chen Hao. He walked to a Jetta next to him, and drove away. Qin Lin. Zhao Mocking came out of the gate to see Qin Lin, ran over with a smile, and skillfully sat on the back seat of the small electric motor, hugged his waist and said, "Let's go." Qin Lin rode a small electric motor into the road and asked, "Send you back, or are we going to have a big meal outside?" Zhao Mocking thought for a while and said, "Let's go to your house to buy groceries. I haven't seen my aunt for a long time." "Well, I'll call back later. My mother will be very happy to know that you're going," Qin Lin said, and rode a small electric bike to the RT Mart supermarket for shopping. Qin Lin doesn't like to go shopping, but he likes to lead Zhao Mocking to go shopping with her. After shopping around, the two of them already had large bags of vegetables and seafood in their hands. When she got home, Lin Fen saw Zhao Mocking coming, and the smile on her face couldn't be concealed. "Mocking, you're here, come in quickly." Lin Fen is 100% satisfied with Zhao Mocking. For her son to find this kind of girl who is gentle, non-powerful, good-natured, and respects his elders, it will be a lifetime of burning incense. It's just that her family's situation is too shabby, otherwise she would have already arranged her son's marriage with Zhao Mocking and let her be her daughter-in-law. "Auntie, Qin Lin and I bought a lot of vegetables. I'll wash the vegetables first," Zhao Mocking said sweetly, and he didn't dislike the small, chaotic environment. "Hey, all right, let's wash it together." Lin Fen took the dishes from Qin Lin's hand, and went into the kitchen with Zhao Mocking with a smile on her face. Qin Lin seemed to have suddenly become an outsider. Zhao Mocking's cooking skills are actually pretty good, so Lin Fen happily started beside her. After a table of dishes was ready, Her appetite was better than usual, and she ate a lot more. After finishing the meal, Qinlin entered the room and took out a bag, which contained the red strawberries of quality 2 that came out today, and took out half of the 4 kilograms. Xiaolin, what did you take? Lin Fen asked suspiciously. The red strawberries, I specially kept them. Mom, Mo Qing, you can try them. Qinlin put the quality 2 red strawberries on the table. Seeing this, Lin Fen immediately put all the strawberries in front of Zhao Mocking and said, Mocking, strawberries are very nutritious and can also beautify your skin. Eat more. Okay, Auntie. Zhao Mocking likes to eat fruit, so he didn't refuse. He picked up one and tasted it, but soon she was surprised. Qinlin, why are these strawberries so delicious? This is a special quality strawberry. There's no place to buy it outside. You can't eat it if you want. It's delicious, right? Qinlin is a little proud, isn't it? Delicious plus 2, sweet plus 2, taste plus 2, aftertaste plus 2 attributes. This game is produced, he is the only one. Yet. Zhao Mocking nodded hurriedly, the strawberries I ate before are completely incomparable to this one. This is the first time I have eaten such delicious strawberries. Isn't it just red strawberries? Is it so delicious? Lin Fen was a little puzzled listening to Zhao Mocking's words. Having worked as a fruit and vegetable dealer all her life, she still knows a lot about red strawberries, and the taste is just the same. However, after she picked up a strawberry and tasted it, she also revealed an incredible color. The taste of this strawberry is really beyond her expectations. After eating it, it can leave an aftertaste in her mouth, which is unforgettable. She couldn't believe she was eating strawberries. Not to mention Zhao Mocking, she has been working on fruits and vegetables all her life, and she has eaten and tasted a lot of strawberries every year, but the taste of those strawberries is far inferior to the one brought out by her son. Qinlin smiled as he looked at Zhao Mocking and his mother who were cleaning dishes in the kitchen. When Mo Qing came, there were many smiles on her mother's face, and she was in a good mood. Laughing more and staying in a good mood is good for Mom's body. Mom obviously wanted to help him marry Mocking home, but the family situation was powerless. Therefore, it is still necessary to make a down payment for a house as soon as possible, then put the marriage certificate in front of my mother, and then bring Mo Qing home. This is probably what he wants to do most now. It can be said that he has no ambitions for his bust. However, there is always something more important in life than ambition. Thinking about it, he looked at the game screen, wishing to use a golden finger to fill up the game characters, plant all the land with red strawberries, and earn him several million a day. When Qinlin was about to take Zhao Mocking back, Lin Fen followed him to the downstairs community and kept instructing, Xiaolin, remember to take Mocking home safely, and ride a little slower on the road. Mom, I see. Qinlin replied with a smile, and took Zhao Mocking out of the community. Zhao Mocking's family lives in Dongcheng Mingyuan community. Qinlin stopped the car in the community, and the environment alone could feel the fundamental difference from the old community he rented. This is one of the best neighborhoods in Yushan County. The house price per square meter has reached 14,000, and a house of 120 square meters plus decoration is over 2 million. You must know that many houses in the provincial capital are only more than 2 million yuan, which shows how exaggerated the house prices in this small city of Yushan are. Every time he comes here, he has to consider a question. If he wants to buy a house here, he must save money and spend 35 years to pay off the family's foreign debts. If there is no way to make money during the period to get rid of the status quo, it will take another 5 years or more to collect enough money for the down payment. This is under the premise that house prices will not rise in the future. In the past, every time he came here, he would be a little nervous, he was afraid that he would fail Zhao Mocking. Fortunately, the game in his mind could pull him out of this powerless quagmire. Zhao Mocking seemed to feel Qinlin's emotions. Instead of getting out of the car, he put his face on his back, "Qin Lin, why don't we have a showdown with the family? I want to fight with you." Qin Lin knew that Zhao Mocking was telling her determination, and she had raised this topic more than once. He grabbed Zhao Mocking's hand and assured, "Didn't you tell me to give me some time? Don't worry, I have a new business recently, I have done some wholesale, I have made more money than before, and I will be able to bring you soon. Go home." "Really? Real? Well, I believe you." A few simple words showed her confidence in Qin Lin. The two kept it warm for a while, and Qin Lin handed the other 2 kilograms of red strawberries of quality 2 to Mocking. Also, Zhao Mocking was surprised. The strawberries just now were so delicious that she and Lin Fen solved them all. Qin Lin nodded, "Well, as long as you like it." Zhao Mocking was naturally overjoyed and gave Qin Lin a heavy kiss before going upstairs reluctantly. When she returned home, she found that her mother Chen Xiao and sister-in-law Li Jian were watching TV in the hall. "Mocking, you're back." Li Jian and Zhao Mocking are the same age, they do makeup and are very fashionable. Seeing the little sister-in-law coming back, she smiled and said, "Mocking, come and have a taste, I'll let someone buy it on your behalf." Imported strawberries cost 200 yuan a pound, which is rare to eat once. Said, she also picked up one and handed it to Zhao Mocking's mouth. Zhao Mocking opened his mouth in cooperation. Li Jian put the strawberry into Zhao Mocking's mouth and asked, "How does it taste?" "Not bad, right?" Zhao Mocking ate this strawberry, but looked at his sister-in-law strangely. "Jian, this strawberry is 200 kilograms, have you been deceived?" Li Jian asked suspiciously, "How is it possible? My best friend from college helped me buy it. Isn't it delicious?" Zhao Mocking didn't speak, took out a strawberry from the bag in his hand and handed it to Li Jian's mouth. "Open your mouth." Li Jian saw that the red strawberry also opened her mouth and bit it, and then she was stunned, because it was much better than the strawberry she bought. "Mo Qing, where did you buy this strawberry? How much does it cost so delicious? It should be very expensive, right?" "It shouldn't be expensive." Zhao Mocking didn't ask the price of the strawberries, and said vaguely, "This is from Qin Lin, and the ones he sells in his store are definitely cheap, it should cost 20 pounds. 20 a pound?" Li Jian became frustrated when she heard the price. "What, 200 a pound of strawberries is not as delicious as 20, Mo Qing, I seem to have been deceived, even 200, but this best friend has none." "Done." While speaking, her hand had already reached into the bag in Zhao Mocking's hand. "The strawberries I bought are no longer fragrant, but the ones brought back by my sister-in-law are fragrant." Chen Xiao next to him heard Qin Lin's name and asked with a frown, "How is Qin Lin doing recently?" "Mom, Qin Lin has been doing wholesale recently, and he will get better and better." Zhao Mocking actually didn't know what Qin Lin said about wholesale, but she could only say that Qin Lin was good. "I ran to my room, not wanting to dwell on this issue." Li Jian said, "Mom, Qin Lin is actually a good person, willing to work, and also good to Mocking." Chen Xiao sighed and said, "I know he's good, but don't you know his family? How much hardship will Mo Qing have to endure after marrying him?" Li Jian didn't answer these words. Qin Lin woke up the next day, picked the watermelons and strawberries that were ripe in the morning, and planted new seeds. After washing and having breakfast, he immediately went to the warehouse to remove the watermelons from the game, and he sent the watermelons ordered by Lu Dashan and the others. "Xiao Qin, let me tell you something." When Lu Dashan finished weighing, he asked embarrassedly, "It's just that the price of watermelons has dropped, can you still get 2 cents cheaper at this wholesale price?" Hearing this news, Qin Lin frowned slightly. Has the price of watermelons started to drop? The price drop of watermelon was expected by him. The price of watermelon soared in July and August every year, and after the end of September, the price of watermelon began to drop. Is it just that the price of watermelons in the wholesale market in Yuchun has dropped so early this year? After thinking about it carefully, he probably knew the reason. After all, he was involved in 1 foot, more than 800 watermelons per day, and more than 9,000 caddies. The market in this small county must be affected a little. In this case, reading www.yuyuganshu.com, he has to think about planting other things. Once the price of watermelon is reduced, it will become less valuable as it goes to the back. In the end, it often sells for less than $1 a pound, and there is not much profit. Sure enough, when the goods were delivered to RT Mart for settlement in the evening, Manager Chen also asked for a price cut. This also made him more determined to stop growing watermelons. As soon as RT Mart came out, he sent a message to the bosses, which roughly said, "The watermelons grown in the fields of the uncle's second grandfather's nephew are sold out. You can go to the market tomorrow to buy watermelons. There is no guilt in my heart for suddenly stopping the supply. I was originally in business and did not sign a long-term supply contract." After finishing, he immediately looked at the game screen in his mind, controlled the game characters to leave the pasture, and went to the seed store in Orr Town to check whether the crops that could be grown on the primary land were more expensive than watermelons. At the same time, he also looked up the prices of these crops on the internet. Naturally, he had to choose one that was suitable and more expensive. After searching for a long time, he really found a very suitable one. That's okra. Okra is the most expensive among the primary land crops, and the maturity time is similar to that of watermelon. The key okra is a seed crop, not a seedling crop. Like watermelon, it has high privacy and is not troublesome. Now their wholesale price in the southern region has reached more than 6 yuan per pound. His cost is the money to buy seeds, and he doesn't ask for too much, just 6 yuan a pound wholesale. Thinking of this, he went to the seed store to buy another bag of okra seeds. When he got home, he entered the game, put the okra seeds into the seed storage box, then exited the game, controlled the game character to shovel the watermelon seeds that he had planted before, and then planted the okra seeds on the 24 grids of ground.